I don't care at all, cause I got money. Right here is my bag.
Now we're going to talk about the period. Wait a minute. Wait, pause. What? Okay, so now we're going to talk about the pregnancy as a whole. Tell me about how you felt about it from jump. Like, what were your thoughts?
How I felt about it from jump.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of nervous about it, but it was also kind of really exciting because I haven't experienced SL, partnership, and pregnancy either. So it was exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a lot of really cool options available. I don't know all of the names, but the hands-on mommy's the one that we have, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that one seemed like the coolest one, and it has a lot of cool stuff on it. So it was kind of exciting to see that. And every time you like hit a different stage, it's got like something different you can access. Like, I think it was like towards the latter half of the pregnancy we started seeing like the kicks and stuff. And they were very like subtle at first, and now they're just jerking your whole stomach around. So
yeah.
yeah.
So you liked the tubbiness the best. The tub.
Did I like the tubbiness of us? Yeah. Partnership wise or just in general. I think there's something about like watching your partner go through that stage. It's like really appealing for some reason, at least for me. I find it really attractive. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I just do. And it's also like a cool experience because every time you're, logging into SL, you really don't know what to expect. And next thing you know, you started off with like this tiny little stomach, and now you're like just full, stuffed, ready to go.
Wait, ready to go, you say? Wait, pause. Ready to go where exactly?
Ready to go bring out the goods.
Ooh.
Produce the fetus.
Wow.
Bring out the child.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I hear you. Were there any moments where you felt like the happiest? Like, was it because overall, right? Like the whole thing is a role play experience. Where did you feel like it reached that height for you, where you were like, okay, this is exactly like how this is supposed to go?
I think when we had the ultrasound, and the second one, I believe, and they were like telling us what the baby was gonna be. First of all, the doctors that we had were so good with their RP. Like, they made the experience all that much better. And this is my first time doing this, so for me to just say that, I mean, I haven't done any other, but that was just really good for me to just see how active they were, how detailed they were. Like, even with just like the gadgets and stuff that they have set in there, like it was crazy to me. It was wild. But I think for me, the moment that I was like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be, is like on the second ultrasound when he was sort of dragging, telling us the gender of the baby, and I was like, why am I actually nervous? Have we invested so much into this RP that I'm actually really excited and really nervous to find out?
Yeah.
And at that point, I think we were all invested, like the doctors, us,
absolutely,
like your family, everybody was just eager to find out. Like that was the moment where I was like, yeah, this was a cool experience. This was really dope to do.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with that. I think that those moments where you're like asking yourself, like, why is that, like, why am I feeling like these real feelings about this this moment? I think that that's when you've hit like the height of your second life experience, right? Because like that's ultimately what it's meant to be. You can get into whatever in second life and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how things are going to go. You can get into friendships, relationships, you can get into, you know, doing role play things, all of these things that could possibly leak into your real life, maybe even make you realize things that you want to do in real life, or carry things from SL into your real life. And so it's sort of like, I definitely think that pregnancy is one of those things, and I think it's a very big thing because there are people that are not able to have children, for example, but they're able to live all of that out here. Or there may be people who thought they didn't want kids, but then they get an SL, they adopt a kid, and next thing you know, they're pregnant, and now this is something that they might want to experience in their real life. So I do think that overall it is very encompassing, like it's very important in its own right. And I think that there are a lot of people that haven't got a chance to really understand that or experience that. And so I'm glad that we're able to share that for those people that might be curious, so that they know, like, hey, like this isn't, yeah, it's a play thing, right, quote unquote, but it's not necessarily a play experience. Like you're really still experiencing it in the same way that you would in real life. Maybe not the same gravity, however, you're able to live out the experience without just daydreaming it up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually, that's true, and I'm gonna tell you why I think that's true. Because interestingly enough, prior to playing SL, and I haven't been on SL that long. Well, I was in SL and I came back, so I'm trying to adjust to all of that, right? But prior to coming back to SL, I remember having a conversation, and I talked to you about it with one of my friends, and we talked about having kids. And he's just had a baby daughter, and he was so excited. And so in his excitement, he was sharing with me, he's like, so what about you? Like, when are you gonna like have any kids? And I was like, no, not me. No, absolutely not me. Like that life is not for me. I wouldn't want to put my partner through that, blah, blah, blah. And this was prior to said pregnancy. And then we got to experience all of this, and I learned a lot of stuff along the way. So yeah, I got to experience and sort of educate myself through a lot of those appointments that we had, where I would ask like genuine questions, or where she would give me like genuine facts, and I was like, what? I never knew that. No way. And then I'd find myself on Google just for an hour or so going through articles and stuff like that just to verify all of this. And I was like, oh wow, I didn't even know that you could get pregnant while pregnant. Like that's a thing. So after having experienced all of that and learning so much, towards the end of this experience, I realized something about myself that I was like, you know what, actually, I'd like to have a kid. So in the past, it was something that I was looking at it like, no, I don't want to burden my partner with that, because I'm not the one that's going to be carrying the child. So I was like, I don't want to burden my partner with that. Why would I do that? And now I'm like, oh man, I hope my partner really really is down to carry this kid, because I would really want one. Like I'd really like bad. And then it just took me through like a whole sort of mental, what would I call it? Like a mental adventure where I had to really think about my options in life, and where I had to really think about what I really want, and almost sort of rearrange my priorities to get what I want and fit in this new part of me that I'm like, no, actually, I was lying to myself. I do want to have kids. Maybe I was just kind of scared of the experience. And having access to Second Life and just RPing this whole thing made me feel that much more comfortable. So yeah, so for anybody out there that's like going through that or doesn't get the chance to have that opportunity, this is pretty cool. It means a lot. It meant a lot to me, so
Yeah.
I can see how it could definitely help encourage other people, because it encouraged me, help educate other people, it just help fill that sort of void and experience if somebody doesn't get to have that. Especially with a partner, it's a really intimate thing to do.
Agreed.
On Second Life.
Absolutely.
What was it like for you?
What it was like for me was a few things. So, granted, this is like, do I want to say deeply personal? Yes, probably so. In my real life, I have one child, as you know, and my experience was not that great. And I knew that I didn't want to do it again with that person, right? I didn't want to have another child with that person, because I knew, like, like this isn't the move. This isn't the thing for me. This isn't giving me what I feel like you should get when you're having a baby with someone, because it is very much a joint experience. It's not just one person or the other person. It is something that you enjoy together. Yes, I understand that one person is pregnant, and I could sit up here and I could guilt you all day about it. Yeah, sure. Like, oh, I'm carrying your baby, blah blah blah, right? But like at the end of the day, like, it's both of us in this moment together, and we're both feeling the same feelings. You might not be feeling them physically the way that I am, but you're feeling them emotionally. Like, emotionally, we're on the same level with it. We have the same thoughts. And so for me, being pregnant and Second Life meant, okay, I'm hoping that the experience that I did not get to have in real life might come to be that, like, I don't want to word this. Maybe the experience that I was missing in real life, I will get to have here, right? I'll get to have that partner that actually is very present and will come to the appointments with me and will care for me and will, acknowledge the fact that I am carrying their child, and it feels like a very us situation. Like it's funny because some people make fun of this statement, but there are women out there that be like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. But there's other women out there that will say, well, we're pregnant, right? And in my real life, I felt like I was pregnant. I had a pregnancy. There was no we, there was no team, there was no none of that in what I dealt with, like what I went through. But with me and you, it feels like we're pregnant. You know what I mean? Like we're going through this. Like, even in the parts of the video that I already recorded, because you didn't hear any of it. You didn't know. You were in the garage, like working on the garage. But I was saying like, oh, we decided to do this and we decided to do that, and it shocked me the amount of times that I said we. Because I didn't get a chance to feel that in my real life experience. But here I am in Second Life with you, feeling very much we. We like, because we literally chose everything. I think only probably the pregnancy HUD where you were like, look, like whatever you want, I got you, you know, that type of situation. I think when we chose the route of how we were gonna have the baby, I think you, but ultimately we chose it together. But at the end of the day, you were like, you know, like pick what you want, right? But like the whole point is you were there with me throughout the whole thing, and like that feels like a we experience. I don't feel alone.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, well, I think I want to do this thing. Like, what do you think about it? And you're just like, I don't know. I don't care. Like, you were never like that. You were just always involved, always saying like, well, if you want this, like, do that, you know? And that was fine. It was never in a dismissive way at all. And I just appreciate you for that. And I just want to tell you that.
Oh wow. Okay.
No.
Well, I mean,
no.
I feel you. No, I appreciate you. I think I think you did an amazing job. Like, you were super. When I pictured like what it would be like to have like a pregnant partner, that was definitely you. And I enjoyed absolutely every moment of it. Down to like getting you in trouble for eating too many cookies, or
I mean, yeah, first of all,
you
that
know,
was
just
rude. That was rude as hell. That was rude.
or you know, letting me just pet your belly 24/7 nonstop. Like, that was amazing.
I love that.
So no, thank you, because I think you also did a lot to partake in this. You know, you took it upon yourself to do a lot of other things. So yeah, I think it's equal, back and forth.
Well then. Not me gushing over you once again. Hello? What is happening? Oh, you're so annoying. I can't deal with you. Pause. So, is there anything that you wish would have happened differently?
Is there anything I wish would have happened differently? Yes. One thing. It doesn't necessarily have to do much with like our experience and how we interacted, but more so with the HUD itself. I think it was just having some minor issues towards the beginning, throwing off, what was it, the deformers on your body or something like that. But I think we also found something else wrong with it. It may have been fixed towards the later, towards the end. I'm not too sure, but I think in the beginning it was a little difficult to understand and try to adjust to. And there was some minor, I guess, bugs in the HUD at the time. So I definitely, if I could change, I'd make sure that the HUD was pristine, perfect. But I'm not too worried about it, because like, now that it's fixed, just stay tuned for baby number 2. So it'll be fine. We could just redo it then.
Talking about baby number 2, baby number 1 ain't even came out yet. No, but, I agree with that. I think also it's just like a learning process, right? Like with these HUDs and stuff. Like, I think that was the biggest thing probably for me was understanding them. I remember the bug that we had, and in terms of what I know, it has not been updated as of this date. And what is today, the 29th? Well, I guess technically.
Well, the 30th now,
The 30th technically now, yeah. But like, you couldn't give me the vitamins in the water. I remember that was, but that was like that was the only bug that we had, really.
Yes.
And that, and the deformers like doing its thing each time that I would put it on, even if I had them clicked off. But I would say overall, at least for me, the experience with the HUD, like, those things were very minor in comparison to the overall experience. Like, like when we would be out someplace and I'm like, I gotta go sit down, or I'd be like, oh, and now I have to go and like eat lentil soup.
Go home and res your humidifier, was it?
Yeah, like I feel like all of that just kind of made it worth it in its own way, because it was very interactive and very much like, okay, like, yeah, this is real shit. Like, all right, yeah, I gotta take a seat somewhere, and yeah, we might be out shopping somewhere, or out, well, probably not shopping, because I know how you are with that, but like out someplace, and I just like be sitting on the floor randomly. You're probably like, what the fuck? And I'm like, hey, just so you know, like, your kid is kicking my ass, I gotta sit down for a little bit. But yeah, overall, I really do like the Hands on Mommy Hut. I think what they've done is great. I feel like their experiences is just so interactive on a role play level, and very realistic in terms of what someone would actually go through with a pregnancy, that they don't need a body. Like, they don't even have to do that. There's bodies out there, there's all of this out there, and they don't have to worry about that. All they have to worry about is honing in on their role play experience, because they're making it realistic as hell, and there's not a lot out there that will do that. There's a lot of experiences that you can have in Second Life that are cute, in terms of baking babies, so being pregnant, making babies, giving birth to babies, but like what they did, I mean, it's just realistic. Like in my belly right now, like there's a baby that is kicking and moving, and there's like an amniotic sac, and there's a uterus, and there's a placenta. Like that's wild. A lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people want to make it really cutesy. But the thing about Hands on Mommy that they did was they made it real. Not everything about pregnancy is cute all the time. The bellies are cute and all of this. But when it comes to childbirth and all these sorts of things, like it doesn't look pretty. It's a beautiful experience, but it does not look pretty. And I think that sometimes we get so caught up in SL with things looking pretty that we forget the depth that could possibly be there. And I think Hands on Mommy has depth. There's people who are gonna experience it for the first time virtually, and they will get a real true to life experience, or as true to life as you can get in Second Life anyway, experience with Hands on Mommy. They're not going to get that with these other things out there. This tummy talker that, I'm not trying to shade tummy talkers. It was just never my thing. So I guess maybe in a little way I am shading them. But, like, oh, so-and-so is growing, this baby, or oh, so-and-so is growing twins, or oh, so-and-so is growing triplets, blah, blah, blah. Like, shouting it out in local chat for everyone. Like, that's not how it goes. When you're pregnant in real life, like, you're not sitting out here, your tummy is not talking to anybody. What it's talking to is your lower back, is your ankles because they're swollen, your feet because they're swollen. It's not talking to anybody else. When you go to the grocery store and you're like, all I want is some cookies and some milk. Like, your tummy's not talking to anybody but you. So like, I never really understood that whole thing, but to each their own. It's not for me, but yeah, I'm glad that we chose the more realistic route. And you know what I'm most excited for actually is seeing how you are gonna react to the birth.
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Okay, watching this entire thing from the beginning jump, right? Because I did it as soon as I knew she was pregnant. I like zoomed into the stomach, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I had a freak out. We were in the room, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's actually like a tiny baby in there. It's like so tiny, like you can't even tell. Like it barely even has hands. You were like, yeah. like I was so shocked and surprised. I had no idea about any of this. And I would catch myself occasionally just zooming in just to take a quick peek. Yeah. And I would zoom in and take a quick peek, a quick peek, and then I would notice, because I remember telling you, I was like, hey, look, the baby has hair now, or like, hey, look, it's got like hands and feet now, and you're like, yeah, it does. The last time I zoomed in there was a couple days ago.
Oh yeah.
And I noticed that the baby is now in a different position. And I was like, oh, it's starting to get kind of real here. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then you start zooming into there and it's like, man, they put so much detail into that. So much detail. Like just the other day, I think you were in the kitchen or something, and I accidentally, the way my camera was angled, I clipped some of your stomach, so I got to see like the is it the placenta? I'm not too sure. But you saw like the little
looking thing, then yeah.
Yeah, yes. And I was like, what is that bloody looking thing? And then I was like all in your stomach, off mic, so you didn't know that I was in there, just looking around like, oh my gosh.
My neighbor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is my business. But yeah, so I'm definitely really excited about it. Also really nervous because I've never actually seen a birth. I think I asked you, just trying to keep it cool. I was like, so does the baby come out from like down there? Or are they going to just pull it out? And you were like...
You did ask me that, but I thought you
I did, yeah.
That was a real question?
That was a real question.
Oh shit!
I just played it off really well, right? It's like,
you did, because I was like, oh no,
yeah,
you just fucking around, like no big deal.
No, it's like, is it gonna come out from there? I'm excited to see what that's gonna look like, but also really nervous. Because we have been waiting. We have patiently been waiting for this baby to come out.
Yeah, since July. And it's funny that you think about this though. At the start, it was very much about like having a baby, right? It was about having the baby, not about the pregnancy. It was about having the baby. Now we fall in love with the pregnancy, and which is crazy because that was not supposed to be on the menu, right? Like from the jump, it was just sort of like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a kid together, and like that's gonna be what it is. But the whole point of it was the end result. We never considered the process as something that we would fall in love with, and here we are.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's a good point. When we started, the focus was the end result, because we were so eager to adopt, and we were like, yeah, we'll do the pregnancy thing and then we'll go ahead and adopt, and we were so focused. We stopped even talking about like potential. We did. We completely dropped that whole subject.
Haven't even talked about it. Like,
nope. The baby's gonna be here in a couple of days, in a week or something.
Yeah.
And we haven't even like.
We don't give a shit.
We had no things around us. We're like, oh, this could be like a potential match for us. No, absolutely none. We haven't done anything. We've just been enjoying the pregnancy. That's what we've been doing.
Yeah, but it feels like something like so intimate with the two of us that it's just sort of like, this is our thing. Like, I mean, yeah, it just feels like an exclusive club. Nobody else needs to be a part of type energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. Definitely agree. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be scary and exciting. I think because we have fallen in love with the pregnancy and the process and all the things. Come on, we have to talk about like I am in shock. Like, I stopped playing SL back in 2013, I believe. I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back to a completely different world of Second Life. And there's HUDs for everything. Like, it started with us discussing, well, we both wanted to have, like, adopt a kid, and that was cool. But I think it just started with the Mama Alpha. Is that what it's called? The Alpha HUD?
Yeah, Mama Alpha.
And yeah. And it started with that, and it was just like, oh, okay, cool. But then we realized, hey, that connects to this HUD, and it connects to that HUD, and they all work together. And this is your crazy experience. That's so cool that you can do that from the beginning. It's not like you just have to choose, today we're pregnant. No, like, you actually have to try.
Right.
Daily,
Right.
whatever, you know. That was a really cool experience.
It was a little bit of, you know what it was for me? The little bit of laughter that you put on daily. Like, you're like, no, that's exactly what happened.
Listen, if you want to be successful, you got to do 3 times a day, every day, no breaks. I can guarantee you it works.
Yeah.
So I'll put the work in.
Apparently it does, because some people struggle for a long time to get pregnant with a Mama Alpha HUD, and I don't know if you got shooters or I'm just fertile as hell, but it works.
It's the shooters. I got shooters. That's what it is.
I knew you were gonna say that because I knew you just wanted to take the credit. Like, but
I mean, well, that's it. I mean, shooters.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for me, you would just be walking around here, minding your own business. Living your best life.
I probably would. I'd be laying on the beach right now in a swimsuit with a flat stomach. Just.
I don't want to out myself here, but I'm definitely excited to see you in, like, mom mode.
Oh yeah.
It's it's really attractive. Don't ask me why. Don't ask all those questions. But when you were suggesting that we should go with, like, Zuby and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no, because I want to see you in that. I want to see you in that mode, just in here, like, with a bonnet,
Oh.
Yeah, just changing a diaper, like, barefoot, and with that nightgown.
Wait a minute.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Wait.
I'm ready for all of that. I want all the smoke.